we doing today, Peggy? Oh, that's a great idea. Let's make a pull-up bar. Okay, so I'm making a pull-up bar today. I'm going to put the materials and all the tools I needed for this job in the description. Don't need the exact same materials that I got, but any timber that's nice and strong and sturdy and a good solid pole, that'll be perfect for the job. So what I'm doing here is I'm just like laying it on the floor to give me like a rough idea of how it's going to take shape. To find out what the length of my apparatus is going to be, I'm going to place the pole going halfway between each timber, and that's going to give me the measurement of the length. Make sure you write down these measurements and always double check. So to find out what height I wanted to put the pole at, I literally just laid it out on the floor and I lay down, and where my fingertips could reach, that's where I was going to put it. So the timber size that I wanted to use for this, which was 4x4, I couldn't find anywhere, so I just had to settle for some lengths of 2x4 timber, and I just screwed the two lengths together. Now just marking up and cutting off some excess timber on the end. Oh, just marking out the center for our drill bit so we can sink the pole into the timber. We need to make sure it's as center as possible, because if it's not center, then we're going to have a wonky pole, and that's not good for, it's not good for pull-ups. So here I didn't actually have the perfect the drill bit size for this. So what I ended up having to do is, when I placed the bracket on there, I placed the hole at the top for the screw to go in, so it would push it down tight to the bottom of the timber. So here, so where the screw goes at the top, I placed that there, so when I did tighten it up, it would push it downwards to make sure it was nice and solid and didn't move. Yeah, I wasn't going to use the little screws in the packet. I was just going to use some nice big screws to make it nice and strong. So as you can see, where I'd put the screw in from the top now, that would push it down and make sure the pole stays where it is and nice and strong. So far it should look something like this. Okay, so now it's actually drilled together. We're just going to double check our measurements for the length of the frame. Also, double checking what the width will be so I can fit it down the side of my house, which is where I'm planning on storing it. So now I'm just laying it out on the floor so I get a rough idea of what I want the base to look like. So for the base, I decided to use halving joints to join the timber. I just like it, it's a nice and easy joint to make and also nice and strong.
How long that's going to take?
If you have a marking gauge, which most people probably don't, that'd be great, but it's not essential. So now all the joints have been cut, assemble it, and it should look like this. All we need to do now is just screw the joints together.
Big bag screws.
So once you've assembled the base, all you need to do next is mark out where the center line is, and then you're going to line up the rest of the frame with that point. I actually had someone help me, and then they held the frame whilst I screwed it in from the bottom, and then I just added a few more screws into the side just to give it some strength. Awesome. Right, now we have the main part of the frame assembled. All we need to do now is just brace up the corners. We're just going to cut some 45-degree angle pieces of timber just to go at the bottom 4 corners just to brace it up. Here I'm using the 45-degree angle on the saw just to make it nice and easy. Right, time to test it out. And that's it. So it works pretty well. Any questions or anything like that, just drop a comment down below and I'll try my best to answer. Thanks. Like and subscribe.